and have a chat with Paige, a sensational singer and songwriter. So yeah, let's add Paige in and have a chat with Paige.
It's working.
Yes, it's working. Thank God.
Immediately, I was like, wait, I can see you
Yeah,
now.
awesome. Well, thank you so much, Paige, for making an
Thank
appearance on my
you.
show. No, it's very welcome. To people that don't know who you are,
Yeah,
Paige, if you give like a bit of backstory about yourself, and then we'll dive right into the questions.
absolutely. So I'm from just outside of Toronto area in Canada. So I'm Canadian country singer, and I write my own stuff too. So I've been, oh my goodness, it's crazy. It's so weird to like count back the years in your head when you have to say it out loud and you're like, gosh, how long have I been? But I guess, got into music super young, loved to sing, loved to, I just wanted to be Taylor Swift, essentially, was the goal. I was like, how can I be Taylor Swift when I grow up, and Shania Twain? So I got into music pretty young, started taking some music lessons. And when I was 16, started, just kind of deciding that this is what I was going to do for the rest of my life and just kind of pushing forward with that. And honestly, anywhere that was going to let me play, I would go play, whether it be for, like the one person, three people, or like bigger shows as well, which have been pretty great in the past couple of years. But, just here doing the grind and releasing music. I released a couple, well, I've released one this year, but I have a new song coming out that I'm going to announce very soon. And we're all just here playing shows, living living the life, living the grind, traveling back and forth between Nashville and back home to Canada and just making music.
Awesome. I love that. So we'll dive right into the questions now, Paige. So for my very first question, so you've actually released a incredible new song
Thank
called,
you.
no, you're very welcome. It's called Good at Missing You.
Yes.
What was it like getting to create Good at Missing You? And like, what's the whole meaning behind this song?
Yeah. Good at Missing You was, I mean, if anybody has listened to any of my other stuff, it's the only ballad I have. And I'm such a, like, I love listening to ballads, but I'm very hesitant when it comes to releasing ballads just because, it puts you in this place of vulnerability. Almost, you release all these fun songs and they're just so like there and you have like a good time and everything. But when you do these ballads, you're really forced to, channel your emotions. But what was so special about Good at Missing You is when you learn different people's writing styles, you know what you're going to kind of get out of a writing session. And the day that we wrote Good at Missing You, I knew like I had this idea sitting in my phone for like a year, just the title. And I wasn't sure exactly what the title meant, but I knew it was going to mean something. So I had Good at Missing You sitting in my phone and brought it into the writing session, which I guess was almost a year ago. It was last August at this point. And I pitched the idea and I was like, this is kind of what I'm thinking. And immediately, like, I wrote it with Lydia Sutherland, Aaron Pollock, and Alex Tomorrow, and the four of us just kind of ran with the idea right away. And within an hour, we had the song finished, which was just, it's one of those things where it's such a special feeling because I knew they were going to like kind of like latch onto the idea. And I was like, this is going to be fun. Like, this is going to be a really cool day. And, we all go through those relationships or the end of relationships when you're trying to get over somebody and you're just not, you keep holding on to all of the good and all of the reasons why you miss that person. Moving on can be a really tough thing. So that's what we wanted to capture in that song, that even though you're moving on, you can get pretty good at not moving on at the same time. So that's where that song came from. And it was, as soon as we finished writing the song, Alex is also, well, I mean, he's my cousin as well, but he's also my producer. So as soon as we finished writing, we looked at each other and we're like, so let's go demo this right now.
Yeah,
And we started on it pretty much right away, which was awesome.
awesome. That's amazing. I love that. So on to our very next question. So
Yeah.
you've also created another song called Sunshine Sunday. Another great song. What
Thank
was
you.
it? No, you're very welcome. What was it like getting to create this one? And what's the whole meaning behind Sunday?
Yeah. Sunshine Sunday is one of my favorite songs. I actually have a sunshine tattooed on my foot because as soon as I release a song, I'm like, this is so cute. I'm getting a sunshine to
Yeah.
like remember this song. But Sunshine Sunday, I wrote this last April and it came out last August 27th, 2021 was its release date. So it's just coming up on its 1 year birthday in the next,
Yes.
I guess, like a month today. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. But Sunshine Sunday I wrote it with Rich Cloak and Mariah Stokes. And it was at this time, I wrote it last April. And here in Canada last April, we were in a complete lockdown. Like we did not have any, or in Ontario, I should say, not Canada, Ontario, we were in a lockdown, and I was sitting in my bedroom. It was pouring rain outside, and I love being around my friends. Like I am a total people person.
Yes.
I thrive being around people. Like, you know, makes sense why I went into performing, but I just love people, and I thrive off people's energy and feed off all that. So I was struggling when I was sitting at home and couldn't see people, and that was a really tough thing. So when we went into the writing session that day, I was like, I'm so sad with like the state of the world, and we just, you know, I'm just really looking forward to seeing my friends again. And we kind of started that conversation, and Mariah had this little like idea in her phone that she threw out there, and we just kind of ran with it. And really just Sunshine Sunday is about having a good time, and you know, you don't have to go anywhere crazy to have a good time as long as it's with the right people. And that's what we wanted to capture with that song. And so, you know, it's every single Sunday. It's so cute. Somebody new will like post a story on Instagram of, you know, especially in the summertime right now with it being so nice, of them like on a boat or them just outside, and they put Sunshine Sunday as the music and they tag me. And I'm like, that's what this song is about.
Oh, I love that. So, on to the next question. So, you've also created an original song called Broken Record.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like getting to create this one, and what's the meaning behind this one?
Broken Record's fun. Broken Record is my, well, I mean, I'm playing this weekend at a festival, so shocker, it's going to be the closing song of the set. It's always my closing song of the set. It's just such a fun earworm, and it's funny because every time I play it live, people come up to me after and they're like, oh my gosh, Broken Record stuck in my head. And I'm like, I'm really not not that sorry about that. But Broken Record was, I think, like, it's a fun song. And you know what? Sometimes you just got to have those fun songs that get people singing along. But it came at a time, I released it in May of last year. And that was just, you know, as things were beginning to open up again. So it was kind of like my little glimmer of hope song, where that song was coming out. We were starting to play live shows again, and I was like, oh my god, this is my little song baby that I get to debut at live shows. But it's a fun little breakup ditty. It's a happy breakup song is the way I like to put it.
Awesome. So on to our next question for you, Paige. So you've also created a song called Take Me Back to Tiki.
Yeah.
What was it like getting to create this one, and what's the whole meaning behind this one?
Take Me Back to Tiki is probably, people always ask, what's your favorite song? Because, you know, and like, you're not supposed to pick favorites, but Take Me Back to Tiki is probably my favorite song that I've ever written and released, just because it's so unique to me. And so I'm at my cottage right now. I've been living at my cottage up just like kind of in northern Ontario, and we have a tiki bar, and my dad is absolutely obsessed with anything like islands or Caribbean. Like we just went on a family trip to Bahamas earlier this year, which was lovely. Just so warm. Such always a different climate than Ontario, and you're like, I'm from Ontario. Great. But so we have a tiki bar that like sits and looks out on the lake over there. And when we built Tiki, I don't think, oh my gosh, there's a fly just flying through here also. He's just making a special appearance tonight.
Good old flies.
Just here to hang. When we built the Tiki bar, I don't think we really expected, Travis was at Tiki last weekend. I don't think we expected Tiki to turn into, you know, what Tiki has become. And it's just this really special place where everybody on my cottage road kind of comes down and hangs out. And, you know, it's a place. And what's so special about the song is, you know, like when I look back and like kind of deeply reflect on what the song is actually about, it's not necessarily about a tiki bar, but it's about that place that you can go to hang out with your friends and family and just create those memories, you know, with all of those special people. And what's specifically special about Take Me Back to Tiki is I wrote it with my cousin Alex, the same writer on Good at Missing You. But that was the first song that we got to, you know, like fully collaborate on. And it was the first song that he produced, and I was, you know, maybe like co-producing. I was involved in the whole entire process, but just watched more or less. But, you know, that was the first kind of collaborative project we got to do together. And it's cool because when I released it, I was a little bit nervous because I was like, who is going to like a song about a tiki bar? Like people don't have, not everybody has a tiki bar. Like, what is it? what if people don't get it? But every time people come up to me at the end of sets and they're like, we love your Tiki song. Like it just resonates so hard. And I think that's super cool because it is something that's so personal to me, but it's been something that's so personal, but been able to resonate with other people. And really that's all you want to kind of accomplish as a writer is just what's important to you to hit other people and for them to share that same feeling.
Awesome. So on to the very next question. So what made you decide, like as a person and like especially as an artist, like to get into the whole singing process in the first place?
Yeah, I have a kind of a sad-ish story of how I got into music. You know, it is like it's unfortunate the way that everything happens, but I do truly believe that everything in your life happens for a reason. And you know, like all of those tough things that you go through are there to shape your path. So like I said earlier, I always loved to sing. I loved to just honestly, I just loved to be in like the spotlight. I was like anything that we can perform. I used to put on all these concerts all the time for my parents and would force all my friends and my younger brother to be in these shows with me. And I'm sure some of them are in the comments right now, like a little bit traumatized from our childhood because of the amount of shows I made them participate in. But both my parents work evenings. So after school, you know, when we were growing up, my brother and I would go to my grandparents' house. And I don't ever remember getting into country music. It was just always something that was there. And I definitely thank my grandfather for that. We would sit and listen to country music, specifically Shania Twain, for hours. And he built me a stage here at my cottage, so it would help me put on more shows in the summertime. But he got really sick in 2007 when I was 9. And we would go over with my dad and my mom to, you know, see him and take care of him. And he would ask me to sing to him. So that was something that he just kind of was always one of those. I mean, most grandparents are awesome, but he specifically was just one of those people that was like, follow your dreams. Like, you never know what can happen. Like, just work hard in life. And so he passed away in that December, and I ended up singing at his funeral. And I think I reflect back on this quite often because at 9 years old, I don't think I fully knew what was going on. You're still so young. But I think like the more I think back and you know, other things that I've gone through in my life now, I think I've just realized that music is one thing that can be there for you in the best of times, but can also be there for you in the worst of times and just help you kind of get through anything. I think that's something that's so special about music is that it unites us all and kind of brings us all together with one common, you know, thing. And that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat about music it's just something that's so universal that we can all share. So even though it was like kind of a sad thing that got me to where, you know, or pushed me to start following my dreams, it was that moment where I was like, I just want to sing. I just want to make music. Like I want to continue to share these messages and these things that I have to say with people. And it's been a cool journey. I've had some really awesome opportunities. I've got to travel for music. And, you know, it's just, even when I look at the rest of my year this year, it's going to be a really exciting rest of the year. So, you know, you meet people along the way and you just keep singing.
I love that. So on to our very next question, onto that, like what does performing music like mean to you, like especially as an artist?
Yeah, it's just such a special, like I just kind of touched on a little bit. It's just such a special way to connect with people, and especially through the pandemic. I would do a lot of live streams, you know, because there wasn't much else to do and you still wanted to find a way to connect with people. So I would do all these live streams, and I had somebody message me on Instagram way back at the beginning of the pandemic and just sent this beautiful message about that they discovered me online, you know, came across my music, and that I've been there to help them get through their really tough times. And those are the moments where you're like, this is why, you know, you wake up every day and you're like, I write songs, I do this grind, because I'm sure a bunch of other artists, it's not always the easiest thing to put yourself through. And no, when people say it's not an easy career, they're not kidding. It's definitely not an easy career. And it's a lot of years of dedication. But if you love it and, you know, you just get to touch people in such a special way. And, you know, if it can be the things I've gone through, or, you know, whatever I'm singing about can touch people and can help them go through whatever they're going through, or just help them have a good time, then I think that's a really special gift. And I just want to continue to keep doing that.
Awesome. I love that. So on to our very next question. So like what has been your like most favorite like cover song to perform and why?
Oh my goodness. Oh, there's so many. Oh, we haven't done it in a couple of years, but I used to cover Home Sweet Home by Motley Crue, which
Oh,
was so
yes.
fun. So fun.
Yes.
I was like 18 years old and I was like, we're gonna do some rock.
Yes.
I also my current favorite song to cover. Oh goodness, that's such a tough question. There's so many. One of my favorites is 80s Mercedes by Maren Morris because I just think Maren is a queen and like that song just slaps so hard. But Before He Cheats is also just like a classic go-to cover because you watch
Yes.
everybody out there get so in their feels and you're like, yes, we are all singing to that person that has done us wrong in life.
Oh, I love that. So on to my very next one. So if you could like work with any top three music artists in the music industry, like who you would vibe with the most, who would they be and why?
Oh my goodness. I think about this question every single time I get asked, and I'm like, but I feel like I have to say, or not, I don't feel like I have to say, but
Yeah.
my answer forever will always be Shania Twain, just because she's the queen of country, or queen of Canadian country music specifically.
Yes.
But I would just love to pick her brain because I think I just think she's phenomenal, first of all. But also, like when you break down her songs and you're practicing them and you're learning them, they're really hard songs. You're
Yeah.
like, Shania, what are you doing to us, girl? Because everyone wants to hear Shania, but every single song has a key change and all these things going on. So I'd love to pick her brain, like from a musical perspective too, and just like see how that all works. But also like she's just been one of my biggest inspirations. So I would love to work with Shania Twain one day.
I love that. I love that. Yes. For my very next one, like if you could like take your music to like any place, like any country in the world, like where would you want to take it to and why?
Oh my goodness. Probably Australia, because
Yes.
right?
Oh,
I think
yes.
Australia's
I
so
love that.
cool.
Yeah.
And they have their own little like country music scene going on down there too. So I'd love to explore that because I mean just why not? Plus it's Australia. I've never
Well,
been.
I'm from Australia anyway, like Brisbane, Australia. So
There
you're
we
more than
go.
welcome to come any day,
I would
anytime.
love to come.
Yes, you're very welcome. So on to my very next question. So, like, what advice would you give like up and coming artists that want to get into like the music scene, like yourself?
Um, don't give up. And I know that sounds so cliche and just so like oversaid, where it's like, no, don't give up. But you will go through so many trying moments and just weeks and, things will fall apart. And it is the worst feeling in the world when things, with anything, not even music specifically, but just like if we're focusing on music, when things start falling apart, it's the worst feeling. But don't give up. You have to be able to push through those moments and just keep going. Because I just think too, like if you work hard, if you're really kind to people and, just like have a good head on your shoulders, then something will work out. And whatever it is, like the universe will pay you back for something good if you just continue to be a good person and work hard. So don't give up on your dreams. You never know what can happen and why not try? It's going to sound so like deep, but you get one
Yeah.
life. So why not just go? Why not go for
Yes.
it?
Awesome. So on to my very next question. So if younger Paige, like if now Paige could see like younger Paige from back in the day, like what
Mhm.
advice would you give to younger Paige?
Oh, um, so when I was younger, obviously my parents had to be a lot more involved because
Okay.
if I had a way to make my own decisions, I would have just said yes to everything. And that is one thing I would go back and tell myself is understand why no is okay. Sometimes, because like you just want to take all of these opportunities and be like, yes, 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 yes. But saying yes all the time does not mean that they are, you have to trust your gut sometimes too. And you learn a lot more as you get older with the people that you work with in the industry. And sometimes no is the right answer. Is like as hard as it is, then you just got to wait for that one right yes. So not being like so afraid of the no's and just like accepting that everything is going to work out.
Very next question. So onto that, like what are like the positive and negative sides into the whole music industry and how do you get through those like negative moments as an artist?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty fortunate, I feel, for the most part, that I don't go through this a whole bunch, but social media can definitely be a real negative thing. And yeah, and people are just so quick, obviously, on social media because they're hiding behind a screen. So what's gonna, stop them? So learning to deal with the negative comments, that's for sure, because we all get them, some more than others. And I feel very fortunate that I've only had to deal with it on a few occasions, but we're all gonna get negative comments, and just kind of learning how to, not let that affect you so much, because it's easy to let it like dig at you and just start overthinking it. So that's definitely something I've learned to deal with, is the negative comments. And then, you can take those and you turn them into a positive look. And you're like, you get sometimes all these negative things that are happening, but then you also you see it on the other side, where you have all of these wonderful people that are supporting you and wanting, to cheer you on. So I guess it's like, I don't know what that saying is. A double-edged sword. Does that even apply right now? I'm not very good with saying.
It can. Yeah.
One of those. But learning how to take the negative things that happen to you, because they happen. That's just a part of life, unfortunately. And turning them into the positive moments is something that I've really worked on. And yeah, social media can be quite mean sometimes. I don't think there's any denying or hiding with that.
So also very last question, Paige. So
Yeah.
like what's next for you, like music wise, and projects, that any like thing you would like to announce on the show?
I have so many exciting things coming. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
I'm like smiling just thinking about it. I'll tell you, it's been like I said, you have to face that, those challenges sometimes. And I have 3 more songs coming out this year, which is exciting, because I released the one in Good at Missing You in April, and then I have one coming out August 12th, which is not that far away. So people that are listening now get to hear it now. I'm actually making the announcement on August 2nd, but I have a new song, Drinking Alone, coming out on August 12th, and then 2 others lined up for, like one in early fall and then one towards the end of fall. And then the main goal right now from like a recording standpoint is getting an EP out in 2023. So just a whole bunch of new music. I'm playing in a festival this weekend just outside of Ottawa. So I'm very excited for that, because I'm one of the headliners of the festival, which is great. And then I just, fully booked heading out to Calgary in September for the Canadian Country Music Awards. And this one hasn't been fully announced yet, but I'm getting to play in one of the showcases being held by another phenomenal female artist. She puts on great shows, and if you're watching and know what I'm talking about, you can probably figure it out. But I don't think I'm allowed to say anything just yet about that. But it's all just going to be a really fantastic rest of the year. Just lots of new music, lots of shows, and just kind of still going.
Awesome. I love that. Well, would you like to take it away and perform one of your songs on the show?
Yes, I've been sitting
Awesome.
with my guitar ready to go.
Awesome.
I'm gonna play the new song because
Yes.
why not? Those who are tuned in right now get a little sneak peek,
Yes.
and I mean it's gonna be, I guess, officially announced on Tuesday. I think is August 2nd. I don't even know. I feel like I should know that, but whatever day it is, this one's called
It's all good.
Drinking Alone. Yeah.
Yes.
This is gonna be my next single. So here we go. Mama always said not to drink alone, or else you got a problem. So cheers with me, to getting kinda high, you're a little low. Just smoke 'em if you got 'em. Sharing is caring, so pass it over here to me. I got nothing that I'm trying to forget. Everybody's got regrets. 'Cause tonight I'm not drinking to the sad times, I'm just toasting to the good life. I think I might go broke, taking shots with the drunk girls, singing on Shania with the wrong words, and everyone hurts. Mr. Bartender, pour up the whole bar, some Patron. Sure is good to know nobody here is drinking alone. Oh, that's a nice comment. Thank you. I love reading the comments as they come in. Thank you. I could fall apart, try to find my heart at the bottom of the bottle, but I'm chilling, still winning. I got nothing that I'm trying to forget. Everybody's got regrets. toasting to the good life. I think I might go broke. Shotgunning with the drunk boys, flirting just a little, but I play coy. Don't wanna go home. Mr. Bartender, pour up the whole bar, some Patron. Sure is good to know nobody here is drinking alone. 'Cause tonight I'm not drinking to the sad times. I'm just toasting to the good life. Don't care if I go broke. Taking shots with the drunk girls, feeling like Shania with my words. Learn everyone hurts. Drinks on the house, yeah, this bar's really feeling like home. So pour up a glass, 'cause you know we ain't ready to go. Sure is good to know nobody here is drinking alone. My mama always said not to drink alone.
Oh man, Paige, wow.
Thank
Oh
you,
my
thank
God.
you.
Wow, that was amazing. Oh my God. You just got like, if you could see me like right now, like my hands are goosebumps. Like that
Oh,
song was
thank
amazing.
you.
No,
It's
you're
a
very welcome.
fun song. I'm really, you know what? This one's been a long time coming, and I'm really excited to finally get it out, and it's gonna be great. I'm really looking forward to it. It's just, it's a feel good song. We're just here to have a good time together.
Yes. Good positive energy and
Yeah.
good vibes all the way.
I'm all about that
Yes.
always.
Yes. Well, I would just like to say, do you have like any last final thoughts you'd like to say to people on the show?
Oh man, if anybody, like we kind of talked about this earlier, but I just am a huge believer in this. If anybody is listening and has that dream, to just go, go chase the dream. You don't know what's going to happen, and be kind to people. That's always what I like to say. At the end of shows, I'm like, just remember to be kind. I had a university teacher once, and this stuck with me. It was my first year. I think it was like one of my first classes, and she goes, I am going to teach you guys obviously about music and everything. She goes, but I'm also going to teach you guys, don't be an asshole. She goes, and that will get you so far in life. And that has stuck with me forever and ever and ever. So, and thank you to everybody that's tuned in tonight, of course, to come hang out with us.